So the Tarshona too, fruits from the poisonous tree, secrets that were never to be revealed. You need to get this book. This white guy really putting it out there. I think he's a law student. He was a lawyer. Melvin Stamper, Stemper. Melan, Mel. What's that? Mel Melanin, Melein. Okay, I want to make this. I want to make this topic about the origination of the Nation of Islam. Now we know that the Moorish Science Temple was here long before the Nation of Islam, 1913. And I have found parallels in the lesson that proves my point that the Nation of Islam came after the Moorish Science Temple of Islam. Not only that, some of the teachings were carried from the Moorish Science Temple. And I've said this before in some videos. There's a questions, 101 questions at the Moorish Science Community Studies. And question 20 says, what kind of flag is the Moorish? And the answer is, it's a red flag with a 5-pointed green star in the center. And 21 says, what do the 5 points represent? You see, each point of the star has to represent something. And the Moorish science teaches they represent first is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Now, remember that term freedom and justice came together, and they're the last 2 points. Remember that because that's very significant when you study Nation of Islam. They don't use a star for their points, they use a flag. So under the teaching of Elijah Muhammad, we had a flag laid out on the board, and they had each point had something. It had at the top. At the top, it was freedom, one corner, justice, another corner. Then back to the left corner at the bottom, freedom, justice, equality. Now that's something that the Moorish science don't teach, because we know that nothing is equal. By the mere fact that we're all made different. So how can anything be equal? Then the next point is Islam. Now they don't use the points of the star. They use the points of a flag. Freedom, justice, equality, Islam. Now, didn't I share with you that the last 2 points of the Moorish Science Temple was what? Freedom and justice. You think that's a coincidence that the Nation of Islam has freedom, justice, and equality in Islam? Who you think you're fooling? Freedom and justice were first taught in the Moorish Science Temple. Very clear to any thinking person that these two words come together. And as there's a lot of things that the Nation of Islam taught is responsible for the condition we're in today as seeking equality. It's a lot of contradiction in the teachings, and I can say this because I have spent years of my life following the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. Over 40 years of my life, now finding out a lot of it was slavery teachings, really. Because how can you have a theme of wanting to separate from the white man and have your own nation when your very teaching says you want equal justice? That's separation. I mean, that's asking the white man to give you something. You're not asking to be free from him. You want him to give you equal justice. See, you can't have both. You can't say I want to be free from you, and then I want you to give me something at the same time. Then the Nation of Islam asked for equality, equality of opportunity. Have you heard that term before? Yeah, it was a whole commission established in the government called Equal Opportunity Department, where they went about for years deceiving the people, thinking that you was going to get the same thing as the white folks. It never will happen. Never will happen. Matter of fact, that Office of Equal Opportunities was make sure you never receive equal opportunity. Never. And neither should you. Because if you're looking for somebody to give you equal opportunity, you're an idiot. People are always going to give themselves the advantage that they that they in, that they have. It's nature. If you have a Chinese man in a group and the Chinese man is teaching, he's going to give an advantage to the Chinese student. We're the only people who do not want to give advantage to each other, who prefer others over themselves. That's sickness. But anyway, I digress. The point of this audio is to teach that Nation of Islam is maintaining slavery for black people. That's all it's doing, under the disguise of being free and independent. Khalid saw that. He saw it. That's why he separated from the nation. He was my first mentor. I met Khalid in Houston, Texas. He was the first person who invited me to the nation back in the late 60s. Well, that's the main point I want to make. Study teaching of more science. Now they're not pure as it either. They have corruption in their line as well. They're not teaching from the teachings of Noble Drew Ali for the most part. There's a split. They deviating from the real teacher, the person that he was given to be in charge of the nation. They replace him with someone called Kirkman Bay. It's you just got to follow the spirit within you, the truth in you. You can't follow nobody, and you can't be deceived. That's all I have for now.